Hi, Annie Summary here. This is my recap for the anime Remonster. So if you like my recaps, please consider subscribing. The story begins when a girl is continuously stabbing a guy who is already dead. Still, she is stabbing him like lunatic and having solace by eliminating this jerk from the world. His blood is shedding like stream, but she is not stopping even for a second. It's clear that this girl hates the main character Kanata. Also, the guy has no concern with his name. The thing that is popping around his mind by taking his last breath that he is going to die. By thinking about this, he closes his eyes. When again his eyes open, then he look at the old green man whom he think disgusting. Before closing his eyes, this old man gives him the Gobru name accidentally. Also, he can't object because he is unable to speak or move properly. Still, this old man provides him with worms to eat, which this young green child consumes. Second time, when he awakes up, he realizes he has turned into a green child. Instead, he is surrounded by the kids. It means that in his previous life, he was dead, and he was granted a second life as an abominable creature. Just then, he tries to lift up, but how can a recently born baby walk? By watching himself, he has started weeping because the only thing he can do is cry, and he is doing this job amazingly. On the third day, he has grown up enough to walk on. He must praise goblins, who can grow up fast. Also, his heart is jumping with happiness when he hears his voice. After that, he moves his body to show off his fighting skills. At the same time, he has decided to live this life to the fullest. He is the lucky one who is bestowed with a second life, and he doesn't want to waste it. On his fourth day, Old Man again arrives with their meal. But also, he has brought bad news, in which they have to hunt their own. This is going to be their last meal that he has brought for them. As they need to catch their prey, they have started eating the worms as if they haven't eaten since they were born. To take the bird's eye off the outside, Gobru comes out of the cave. Here he looks at the sun, which is the same as in his previous life. But the plants and animals around this place are totally opposite. To chase him, Gubkichi arrives. He is a Gobru fellow like others. As he seems stronger than all of the others, he has made it his mind to make him his partner. For prey, they are roaming around the forest. At the same time, they observe the rabbit, who has a horn. Gubkichi has started chasing the rabbit, who is running away to save his life. Gobru, who is on the tree waiting for his turn, jumps on the earth and cramps the head of the rabbit with a stick. Now, it's their first hunt, and Gubkichi wants to consume it as soon as possible. But Gobru doesn't permit him to smash the wooden stick many times on his face. How can he forget to share the food? Actually, Gobru taught him his first lesson, to live a life. Also, he has torn apart the horn of the rabbit. In reality, he is going to use this horn as a weapon. Besides, Gubkichi's mouth is watering from watching the meat of a rabbit. Now, he can't ignore him, and he has allowed him to enjoy the meal. While taking a merciless bite, he is thankful to Gobru. Because of him, he is eligible to have this mouth-watering rabbit. On the fifth day, they are using the same strategy to hunt. This time, Gobru has killed the rabbit by penetrating the horn. Within a few seconds, he sensed that he had obtained the most legendary horn, because it can be used as a weapon. Now, he has two horns that he can use as weapons. By ignoring him, Gubkichi is satisfying his stomach by eating the lavish rabbit meat. When he tastes the rabbit, he can sense that he has obtained the ability to escape. But how can it happen? It only happens because he still has the ability of his previous life, which is absorption. By availing of it, he can absorb the animal's powers. In this world, all his abilities are going to reset. Now, he has to wait for his prey to jump on him. Rather, he chases the rabbit and penetrates the horn in his body to eliminate it. Observing this, Gubkichi is stunned at how amazing his personality is. Ignoring him, he offers him a horn to use as a weapon, and he is surprised to think that there are many unexplored animals with abilities. Thinking about this, a smile appears on his face. On his sixth day, he is with his friends. Here, Gobni is shouting after hearing they have already hunted the horned rabbit. She has been inspired by Gobru and praises him. While praising, her cheeks have become red, but she has become obsessed with him. She can imagine the mouth-watering taste of a horned rabbit. Also, Gubkichi wants to listen to his praise and flattery, but she ignores him. Her center of attention is Gobru. By seeing her excitement, he has given her an offer to join them next morning. Unfortunately, it is raining on the seventh day. He is unable to fulfill his promise. It has to be extended. But he can't waste this day, so he moves to explore the material. By finding them, he can create a deadly weapon. Examining the cave, he has found the material. Not only this, he has found the naked woman. He has no idea what these women are doing, but he has no time to think about them. So, he turns his attention to making a lethal weapon. Before he thinks further, an old man joins him who is inspired by his powers. He knows he can level up quickly and also evolve, but this conversation is beyond his imagination until he knocks on his head. Just then, he has realized his level is 86. To evolve, he needs to raise 100. When he reaches 100, he can evolve into a Hobgoblin, but only one can turn into Hobgoblin, and he can go to Gobru. Also, this old man reveals that Hobgoblin, who has already evolved, is going to come here, and he is shocked at the prey he will bring for them. On the next day, Gobmi also joined them by hitting the creature with her weapon, and Gobro chases the other crawling creature. And last, Gubkichi is on the front, smashing the creature with his wooden weapon. Together, they create an unbeatable team. Just then, they started eating their food. Gobmi is thankful to Gobru because of him, she is eligible to have Thai meat. On the other hand, Gobru can also absorb its many abilities. He now has the venom and evil eye to knock his enemy. He is pleased because this snake has increased his ability. Gubkicho distracts his attention by inquiring about the head of the snake. He desires to have a head of steam, but Gobru doesn't permit him because he can be dead meat by swallowing it. Also, Gobru has made up his mind to survive in this world. Doesn't matter how difficult life can be here. Meanwhile, on the 9th and 10th days, they have made equipment to beat the enemy. On the 11th day, they figure out the cave and decide to explore it, but they have no idea how challenging this cave can be. While stepping in, they confront the red eyes. Soon, they realize that groups of bats want to chew them. Without having a second thought, they rush back. Gobru asks Gobmi to run away and orders Gubchiko to create a shield for him, and he uses evil eyes. Through this attack, everyone has been frozen. By doing so, he can hunt the bats with his weapon. One by one, he is obliterating their breath. After that, they are enjoying their meal. This time, Gobru has gained the Vamp Up ability. A new animal is giving him new abilities. From the distance, 3 goblins are keeping an eye on them. They are getting jealous of him because they are having mouth-watering meals, and they are dying from hunger because they don't know how to hunt. To teach them a lesson, when everyone has slept, they try to beat Gobru, but they have no idea they have messed up with the wrong person. With a few moves, he has compelled them to say sorry. He has knocked 6 goblins, and they are watching at him by holding their breath. At the same time, he uses venomous abilities, but they go wrong because he has no control over them. Gobmi, who has awoke, was pissed when she realized they wanted to kill her Gobru. In wrath, she hops in to kill them. Before she elects them, Gobru holds her and restrains her from pursuing her ulterior motives. Also, he assures her that he is perfectly fine, so she shouldn't beat them up. On the 13th day, they decided to catch Orc. First of all, Gobmi gives him a strong hit with her weapon. After that, Gubkicho tries to overpower him, but he is pushed away. When Gobmi relays, he hit Gubkicho, and then she again threw stones at him. As a result, it has injured his fingers, and he has fallen to the ground. Gobru takes the lead and kills him by penetrating the horns in his body. Later, they started eating. By eating the orc meat, he has learned to detect and analyze. As they are full, Gobru asks them to pack the meal. He has packed the meal for his fellows who don't know about the hunting. By watching their meal, they are about to get mad and start eating like lunatics. They are grateful to Gobru, who has given them hearty food. In his previous life, he didn't bother to think about the weak. But in his new life, he has learned many things and decided to help the needy and weak goblins. While sleeping, something tormented him in his dream. It's an evolving system that wants their permission to evolve. Because he has reached 100 levels, the sleepyhead has granted him permission. Consequently, on the 14th day, his personality changed. He has become Hobgoblin and human-likely handsome. Not only Gobru but also Gubkichu have transformed into Hobgoblin. Just then, Old Man arrives, and his eyes widen because 2 of them have evolved. It's the first time in his life that he looks at Goblin to evolve in a month. Aside from this, Gubkicho is excited to fight with Gobru. With a smile, he has approved his request. By moving outside, they have started combating. They have remarkably good fighting skills, and Gobru is faster than his imagination. With a few moves, he has knocked down Gubkicho. Lion is always lion, it doesn't matter who he fights with. Secretly, Gobmi is keeping an eye on them, but Gobru, who has a hawk eye, knows about her presence. Also, he has realized that there is impending danger, and he tells Gobmi to bring her crossbow. There is a wolf pack that is hunting the horned rabbit. Within a second, they had consumed them, and their next prey is Orc, which is also not challenging for them. They have shattering the Orc in a blink of an eye. Just then, Gobru is glad because they can test their new powers on them. At the same time, Gobmi attacked one of them with her crossbow, and they also step inside the fight with their weapons. With his wooden weapon, Gubkicho is beating them up, and Gobru is knocking them down with his lethal weapon. In no time, the wolf's dead bodies are laying on the floor, but one of them is angrily watching them. As he is also wounded, he can't stand on his foot any longer, and he falls apart on the ground. Just then, Gobru has realized that he is the leader, and he has decided to prey on him. With his sharp jaw, he has eaten him and gained the ability to order. After consuming, they took all the meat from his pack. They are again pleased to have the meat of a wolf. In exchange, he wants their favor. Also, he is humble and kind enough to teach them hunting. By hearing this, they are glad because they are not going to die from hunger. In addition, he is again doing favors to teach them to make weapons. In this life, his only purpose is to eat, and he can also make friends. If you enjoy my recaps, please like this video and comment part 2 for next episode.